Hello and welcome to my channel. For today I prepared the longest video ever. I decorated 2 medallions for you. There are 3 different versions of those medallions, which means you can finish your project halfway and it will look as good as the final finish. I already sanded my medallions with sandpaper grading 240 to remove imperfections on edges and to make the surface matte so primer can stick to it better. As I promised few videos ago, I will try to use as many leftovers as I can, and those are old rice papers which were sitting in my leftover box for ages. First, I tear edges with fingers for better blending, removing larger fibers which are sticking out. My medallion is curved, so I also tear images towards center to avoid wrinkles. I start gluing my images from applying layer of glue on the medallion, positioning paper in the middle, applying another layer of glue from the top, smoothing images towards edges. Once paper is dry, I start working with acrylics, trying to blend images as well as possible. I use several paints in various colors, working my way around images. Try to take only small amount of paint on your sponge and start away from the picture, closing down slowly with tiny bits of paint on your sponge. White is always my base paint, and I mix all other paints with it, as well as I use it on its own when I need to lighten the tone of already applied paint. Once I'm done around images, I start with blending colors between each other, so paint floats from one color into another smoothly. This process is time consuming and you need to be very patient. It took me almost 1 hour to finish my blending. Once you master this technique, your work will look like hand painted. It doesn't have to be perfect because layers of varnish will give depth to your work later on. I use small sponges and mix my paint along the way. If you are interested in buying same medallions or other smaller or larger version, as well as icicles or teardrops, please visit my shop at www.aggiescraftshop.co.uk. I will also leave you a link under the video. When I'm happy with my blending, I mix white paint with water and I take stiff bristle brush to create splash dots all over my medallions to blend everything even further. As you can see, I cut my brush halfway, which helps a lot with splashing, but you can use toothbrush or fan brush instead if you wish so. Next step is varnishing. I apply several layers of water-based gloss varnish and then I use fine sandpaper to gently smooth the surface of my medallions with another several layers of varnish to follow. I repeat this process for as long as I need to, but basically until surface of my medallion looks like glass. So this is first stage when you could finish your work. They are perfectly fine to be hung at your Christmas tree. I carry on my work by adding transparent contour liner where I see snow on my images, like trees or rooftops of buildings, and immediately I sprinkle fine silver glitter on top of my paste. I leave my work for drying overnight. Make sure your varnish is properly dry before you apply glitter on top of it, as you won't be able to brush off excess from wet varnish. The next day I take soft makeup brush and I sweep excess glitter off my medallions. If you see single bits of glitter stuck to the surface, use little bit of sticky tape to remove them. This is the second stage when you could finish your work. When everything is dry, I take 2 halves of transparent medallion and I remove fitting by cutting it with sharp knife. I apply quick drying glue on the edge and I glue my medallion on top of already decorated one, closing glitter paste inside. Once glue is dry, I start fiddling with silicone molds and air drying clay. I fill my mold with clay, pushing it quite hard to reach all the corners, and then I gently remove ornament from the form. I use quick drying glue and brush to attach the decorations around the medallions, gently pressing ropes against the surface, making sure there are no gaps left. I decided to decorate one medallion with clear face and the other one just with ropes to show you different options. Make sure you leave your work for drying overnight, as clay takes some time to harden. Once dry, I mix several paints to achieve similar color to one on my medallions, and I apply layer of my mixture, reaching all the small holes between roping. Before I start splashing some white paint, I need to cover one of my medallions with masking tape to protect glitter finish. The one with clear face can be wiped off later on. When everything is dry, I use wipes to remove paint from already varnished surface as well as acrylic medallion face. At the very end, I apply several layers of acrylic varnish on both roping and sides, and my work is done. I hope you like this one, and thank you so much to everyone who survived until the end. Please subscribe or follow me on Instagram or Facebook.